Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Winning Post. I'm Mandira Lalwani, and before going any further, a quick look at what's coming up.
In this episode, we travel to Singapore for the QE2 Cup from the Singapore Turf Club, and then we witness the greatest race days and social occasions of the British summer calendar, the Epsom Oaks and the Epsom Derby 2017. "15 runners into the parade ring for the Group 1 QE2 Cup to be run over 1800 meters. Number 1 was the Bruce Marsh-saddled War Affair, who brought them into the parade ring looking a picture. He was ridden by Danny Beasley, who would have to jump from draw 15. His last start was victory in the Group 3 Sarsfi Stakes over 1400 meters, and therefore had him spot on for this one. Ricardo Lagrange fielded 4 from his yard, including Quechua, Stormtrooper and Time Odyssey. Quechua would be ridden by Vlad Duric, and he was looking on to improve from his 6th place in the Open Handicap on the 24th of February. Stormtroops with Nuresh Juglal in the saddle was drawn 12 and was dead heated in the Group 3 Sarsfi Stakes on the 14th of May. Time Odyssey had Bahrain Vorster on board, and he was another one who was coming off a victory in the Kranji Stakes A back on the 30th of April. Cliff Brown was another who had multiple runners, including Laughing Gravy. He would be ridden by Damien Brown, and Guilt Complex, who would have the services of Michael Rodd in the saddle. Stephen Gray was another who fielded multiple horses in this race. He had Twickenham, who would be ridden by Benny Woodworth, Bahana, who had Glenn Boss on his back, and Newlands, who would have the services of Schofield. The field also included 2 from David Cox's yard. Well Done would be ridden by Manuel Nunes, and Guru Guru with the apprentice CC Wong on his back. Over the trip, you can never not respect Takaoka's charges, and Jupiter Gold, who ran 2nd in the Singapore Guineas, will take his position against his more experienced rivals with Alan Munro on his back. The field was rounded off by Nova Strike from Alwyn Tan's yard and Zippity Doodah from Leslie Coos. It wasn't long before the horses left the parade ring and made their way down to the start for the 1800 meters. They were soon locked and loaded and safely set away.
Quechua, who is a star in his own right. He's a Derby winner, he's a Gold Cup winner as well, and he's still out. Laughing Gravy, who won the race last year. I dare say plan A will be to try and sit forward on him, but he can be a little bit tardily away. He was tardily away, as we heard from Cliff Brown last time. Again, I think in the Gold Cup he was a little tardily away as well. So John Pepe to let them loose. And we're just about right to go. Jupiter Gold favourite at 17, but a host of chances. In our best race of the season thus far. Set. Queen Elizabeth II Cup, they're away and racing now. Jupiter Gold is back second last. Zippity Doodah is back in last as the field leave the stalls, and away nicely here is Twickenham up on the pace with Quechua. Laughing Gravy away nicely as well from Time Odyssey. Newlands out wide with a red cap. Then Stormtroops, Nova Strike relatively handy. So too Jupiter Gold, who's about 3 off the rails but going up in the first half of the field. Then Perfect P, Guilt Complex in the green, just getting shuffled back with also Zippity Doodah and Guru Guru. About 2 lengths away then to Bahana a long way back with Well Done, and War Affair from the wide stall is 3 lengths away, and he is back in last with 1200 metres to go. And Laughing Gravy, who won the race last year, leads out. He's got Newlands in the red cap moving up second on the outside of Twickenham, who's back in third. Further back behind those then to Time Odyssey and also Quechua. They're running 4th and 5th. Then Stormtroops tracking them. Nova Strike about a neck away on the inside from Perfect P. Jupiter Gold, the 3-year-old, in a handy position over near the rail. Zippity Doodah was further back. Behind those in turn then Guilt Complex, Bahana, Guru Guru, Well Done, and also War Affair. They're second last and last as they race up towards the turn in the QE2 Cup, and it's Laughing Gravy who leads out on the point of the turn. 600 metres to go. He's had a nice run. Twickenham second, Newlands third. Further back behind those, Time Odyssey with also Quechua. Then Stormtroops, who pulls out wide. Nova Strike next on the inside. Jupiter Gold, he goes for the whip. War Affair stays near the rails, and Well Done and Bahana, they're winding up out wide, running down with about 300 metres to go, and it's Laughing Gravy moving up on the outside. Is the old old stage at Quechua, and running a race as Stormtroops as well, being followed further back by Twickenham, but it's Quechua who's grabbed the lead with about 150 metres to go. Stormtroops, a few closing in, Gilt Complex with a run. It's Quechua in front, driven down to the wire here by Vlad Juric. What a horse he is, it's Quechua. Quechua who wins it. Quechua first, Laughing Gravy or Stormtroops second and third.
Sure, it hasn't settled in yet. But towards the end of last year, I said to Patrick, 2 races we haven't won, which is the Queen Elizabeth and the Raffles. I promise you I'll win them for you. So it's emotional, and this horse he's just a special horse. You know, doing a bit of work with him the last couple of months, changed it up, put the blinkers on him, put the tongue tie on him, like I said in my pre-race interview, just to spark him up. And it's just an honour to be, you know, associated with horses like this, with owners like Mark and Emily and Glenn, and you know, to Pat for believing in me, you know, probably more than I believe in myself. Well, in Dubai, Patrick was there, and he said to me the one morning he heard him making a bit of a noise, try a tongue tie on him, and then we've always in the back of our minds thought about a pair of blinkers, but he was running so well, you know, winning Group 1 races, and I thought maybe just needed a little bit of a wake-up, and well, it's all come together now, and it's my first Group 1, and I'll never forget this one.
All the credit goes to Ricky's team and Jackie back at home. They just do a wonderful job with their horses, you know. And I've been riding him in his gallops leading up to today and in his trial the other day. And I'd never ridden him in a race before, but all the indications were that, you know, he's in really good touch. And once we drew a really good marble, I was just able to give him a nice ride and just need a little bit of luck, which I got on the corner. And he just always felt like he was going to win the race once he got out. So congratulations to Ricky. It's his first season since Pat's gone, and he said to me the other day that, you know, he promised Pat he'd win one of these feature races for him this year, so I'm sure Pat's sitting there with his feet up at home and he'd be really chuffed.
It was Quechua who turned back the clock, winning this one from Laughing Gravy and his stablemate Stormtroops. Quechua, a son of pure prize, came home in a minute 46.64 seconds, taking his earnings to over $3 million for his owners, the Avengers stable. Quechua has now taken his record to 9 wins and 12 placings from 29 starts.
Queen Elizabeth II Cup, they're away and racing now. Jupiter Gold is back second last. Hippity Doodah is back in last as the field leave the stalls, and away nicely here is Twickenham up on the pace with Quechua. Laughing Gravy away nicely as well from Time Odyssey. Newland's out wide with a red cap. Then Stormtroops, Nova Strike relatively handy. So too Jupiter Gold, who's about 3 off the rails but going up in the first half of the field. Twickenham second, Newland's third. Further back behind those, Time Odyssey with also Quechua. Then Stormtroops who pulls out wide. Nova Strike next on the inside. Jupiter Gold, he goes for the whip. War Affair stays near the rails, and Well Done and Bahana, they're winding up out wide, running down with about 300 metres to go, and it's Laughing Gravy. Moving up on the outside is the old stage at Quechua, and running a race as Stormtroops as well, being followed further back by Twickenham, but it's Quechua who's grabbed the lead with about 150 metres to go. Stormtroops, a few closing in, Gilt Complex with a run. It's Quechua in front, driven down to the wire here by Vlad Juric. What a horse he is, it's Quechua.
I would now like to invite Ms. Claire Filshy to present the prizes for the Queen Elizabeth II Cup to the winning owner, Emily Wang, to step forward from the Avengers stable. Congratulations, Emily, a long-time owner with the Shaw and Lagrange team, and it picks up the spoils here with the Cup. Of course, the winning trainer of the Quechua this afternoon, Ricardo Lagrange. Ricardo accepting the trophy here for the trainer, his first Group 1 in his own name here at the Singapore Turf Club. And, well, the jockey in the saddle doing all the work with Quechua today, it's Vlad Juric. Vlad stepping forward to accept the jockey's trophy from Claire. We'd also now like to present a bouquet of flowers to the Consular Regional Director of the British High Commission, Claire Filshy, and she accepts those flowers now. Our congratulations to all of the winners in the Queen Elizabeth II Cup Group 1 1800 metre feature here this afternoon at the Singapore Turf Club. Please join us for a group photograph.
Epsom Downs Racecourse came alive with roaring laughter and the thunder of hooves as gates were opened for the 2017 Epsom Derby Festival, an unmistakably British event and the greatest summer celebration. Rain or shine, every year on the first Friday of June, a multitude of ladies and gents head down to Epsom Downs Racecourse to experience a day full of high-octane racing, music, glamour and fashion. Across the Queen's Stand to the hill, there is an air of excitement all around, and 2017 was no different. Ladies in the Queen's Stand and Duchess's Stand were invited to enter the Style Awards. This year's renewal of the Epsom Oaks had 9 horses to run in torrential rain with thunder and lightning crashing around above the field. John Gosden saddled 2 horses in this race, Enable, who would have Frankie Dettori guiding her past the post, and Coronet, who would have Andrea Azzeni in the saddle. From Aidan O'Brien's yard was Rhododendron, ridden by Ryan Moore, and alluringly had Simi Heffernan on her back.
Urbina towards the outside as they run through the rain, and Pocketful of Dreams is out in front, and it looks a brisk pace as they continue on this steep incline. 2 lengths, 3 lengths to Sabetsu in second, then in third is Enable, followed by Rhododendron. Natavia is on the inside then of Alluringly. Horseplay is further back from Isabel de Urbina, and Coronet is still just about last. On their way now towards the final mile, and Pocketful of Dreams out in front under Donica O'Brien, tracked by Sabatsu and William Buick in the all-blue jacket. Frankie has Enable in third. Then Rhododendron, the hot favourite. Ryan Moore in the dark blue jacket in fourth place, just towards the outside of Frankie Dettori. Then on the inside is Natavia, followed by Alluringly in the bright yellow and black spotted jacket. Horseplay is behind these as the leader continues to press on inside the 7 furlong marker. Isabel de Urbina and Coronet still at the tail of the field. The track flattening out, they're about to run downhill towards Tattenham Corner, and Pocketful of Dreams is going to make this a serious test. 4 lengths clear of Sabetsu in second place, then Enable in third. Rhododendron with a clear run towards the outside of these, followed by Natavia. They're followed by Alluringly and Horseplay, Isabel de Urbina and Coronet, and he's still kicking on the leader, Pocketful of Dreams, who's kicked away from Sabetsu as they now round Tattenham Corner, and it's Pocketful of Dreams by 5 lengths. 2 in second, Sabetsu. Then Enable in the pink cap. Rhododendron going well towards the outside. The leader folding up and coming back to them now, about to be swallowed down by Sabetsu, by Enable and Rhododendron. And it's Enable and Rhododendron battling on here. Enable and Frankie Dettori in the pink cap. Rhododendron and Ryan Moore in the dark blue jacket. Chased by Alluringly back in third. Both riders going for everything. And Enable is just getting on top from Rhododendron. Inside the final furlong, Enable kicks 2 lengths clear of the favourite and racing up towards the line. Enable for a 4th Oaks win for Frankie Dettori in the colours of Talit Abdullah, and Enable wins the Oaks. Pulling well clear in the end from Rhododendron, Alluringly third, and Horseplay staying on in fourth.
In dramatic conditions with thunder and lightning overhead, Frankie Dettori produced a masterclass as he and Enable kicked clear from hot favourite Rhododendron up the straight by 5 lengths to take the win. Frankie Dettori wins his 4th Oaks and 9th British Classic win for Gosden. Enable gave him his 2nd Oaks triumph after subsequent King George heroine Tagruda 3 years ago. Saturday, 3rd June 2017 was one of the greatest race days and social occasions of the British summer calendar. From the carnival atmosphere and picnics on the hill to top hats and tails in the Queen's Stand and upbeat musical entertainment, the 2017 Epsom Derby Day delivered a truly quintessentially British experience. Amongst the 7 races, the greatest flat race in the world would crown a new winner today. With winnings of £1.325 million, the Investec Derby has one of the biggest prize monies in UK racing, matched only by the prestige that victory brings. This year's renewal had 18 horses, from which trainer Aidan O'Brien had saddled 6 horses in this race. Wings of Eagles would have Padraig Beggy holding the reins to success. Cliffs of Moher had Ryan Moore in the saddle. Cracksman from John Gosden's yard would be ridden by Frankie Dettori.
Also going handy is the Anvil, followed by Peeler, and Cracksman is right there as well. Permian is handy as well. Rekindling towards the outside in the dark blue jacket, white cap, followed by Glencadam Glory. Khalidi is chasing the leaders, Dubai Thunder and a red cap towards the inside as they get across the course now, and Douglas MacArthur leading the way by a couple of lengths to the Anvil in second. Then in third is Best Solution in the all blue jacket, Permian in the silver silks, followed out wide by Venice Beach. Wider is Crowned Eagle. Cracksman just nudged along there by Frankie Dettori. Dubai Thunder the inside of Rekindling, and the front 2 going off very quickly indeed. Capri is further back in the field. Douglas MacArthur and the Anvil have gone 8 to 10 lengths clear of the field as they head towards this long left-hand turn at the top of the racecourse. Venice Beach is third on the outside of Best Solution, then Permian and Cracksman and Crowned Eagle, followed by Rekindling, and then Dubai Thunder is further back behind these, followed by Eminent and Khalidi. Capri the grey on the outside just behind Rekindling. Glencadam Glory, Cliffs of Moher is well back with Saluen, and then Wings of Eagles, Peeler, and last of all is Ben Battle in the white cap, heading on the descent now towards Tatnam Corner. A furious pace in the Investec Derby being set by Douglas MacArthur and Colm O'Donoghue from the Anvil in second place. Behind these in third is Venice Beach, and then on the inside in the all blue Best Solution. Behind these Cracksman is being asked to stretch now, then Permian. Down the outside is Capri. They're homeward bound with 3.5 furlongs left to gallop. Douglas MacArthur is loose on the field, chased by the Anvil, Best Solution. Then Venice Beach. Cracksman begins to find his stride, now beginning into second place and eating into the leader's advantage. Permian, Capri out very wide, Cliffs of Moher, and then Eminent. They race down inside the final 2 furlongs. Douglas MacArthur is chased all the way by Frankie Dettori on Cracksman, and here comes Cliffs of Moher down the wide outside under Ryan Moore, and he goes on sweeping past both of them. Eminent battling on 2, then Wings of Eagles, Cliffs of Moher, Wings of Eagles swooping though, and Wings of Eagles gets up to it. Wings of Eagles denies Cliffs of Moher, and Cracksman fighting it out for second, and Eminence back in fourth.
The son of 2011 winner Pour Moi gave trainer Aidan O'Brien a 1-2 in the Investec Derby at Epsom, pouncing near the line to deny stablemate Cliffs of Moher by 3/4 of a length. As the field thundered into the final furlong, it looked as if the 2 market leaders, favourite Cracksman, who by the way finished third, and Cliffs of Moher would fight out the finish. But Beggy conjured up a withering run to ensure that Wings of Eagles got his head in front.
And that's all we have time for in this episode of The Winning Post. If you've missed anything, you can always catch it on our YouTube channel. Do remember to follow Mohit Lalwani on Twitter for his tips. And of course, goodbye. Until we see you next time, may the horse be with you.